Throughout history, war crimes have been committed in numerous conflicts, with World War II witnessing some of the most horrifying atrocities. The war's exact starting point remains debated, with some historians pointing to Japan's earlier military campaigns in Asia, particularly in China. The Japanese army became infamous for its brutal treatment of civilians and prisoners of war. Among the worst war crimes of the conflict was the Nanjing Massacre, a horrific event that unfolded after Japanese forces captured the Chinese capital in December 1937. The battle for Shanghai earlier that year had led to heavy Japanese casualties. Despite initial reluctance to expand the war, Japan decided to take Nanking. Anticipating the city's fall, the Chinese government evacuated, leaving its defense in the hands of an international committee led by German businessman John Rave. A plea for a ceasefire was ignored, and when Nanking fell on December 13, 1937, Japanese forces unleashed 6 weeks of slaughter, looting, and destruction. As the Japanese army advanced toward Nanking, they engaged in barbaric acts, including the infamous contest between two officers to see who could kill 100 people first with a sword. This was reported in Japanese media as if it were a sporting event. The brutality escalated within the city, where captured Chinese soldiers were executed, women were assaulted, and civilians were slaughtered. Estimates suggest that up to 200,000 people were killed, with some conservative figures placing the number at 100,000. Western witnesses, including doctors and missionaries, documented the horrors. Surgeon Robert O. Wilson wrote of the widespread killings, bayonet executions, and the suffering of civilians. Thousands of bodies were dumped into the Yangtze River or burned. Women were systematically assaulted and then murdered. 1/3 of the city was destroyed by arson, and widespread looting took place. Japanese troops ignored designated safety zones and continued their campaign of terror. The massacre's causes remain debated. Some argue that the exhaustion, frustration, and unchecked power of Japanese soldiers fueled their brutality. General Iwane Matsui, who led the assault, later expressed remorse but was convicted of war crimes after Japan's defeat. Along with other military leaders, he was executed for failing to prevent the atrocities. The Nanking Massacre remains one of history's most horrific war crimes, a stark reminder of the horrors of unchecked military aggression.